Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Goal!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Welcome in, OTB here on this Wednesday morning. Jake, Alondra, Tay here with you, the original tripod. Matt Flynn is gallivanting somewhere in the Caribbean right now. God knows where. I think he's probably on his maybe not on his small plane to get to the island just yet. Maybe close.
Maybe close to it, though. Somewhere in the air.
Is he flying like a twin prop or something?
Look up.
Once
you
he
might see
gets-
Matt Flynn.
Yeah, like he went to Atlanta at 5.
Yeah.
Then he's going from Atlanta to somewhere, and then somewhere
To the little island.
to St. Bart.
Yeah.
It's fun. The Wright brothers special plane over there. Little twin prop.
Yeah, those are something. First plane I ever got on. I mean, before I went like anywhere, no commercial flights. That didn't happen until I was a senior and we played De La Salle in California. It was like an old World War II like fighter plane. Like just like pilot in front, me in back.
Nah.
and that was it. So you don't get too high up on those, but it's loud and you hit like a little bit of a wind pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to throw you a little bit.
I don't even think if I were to be a billionaire that I would buy a private plane because I've heard the turbulence on those are awful. So I don't even think I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, this is not fun. In my older age, having a bunch of children and life kind of together. Like when you're younger, you don't think about stuff like that.
Right. I did.
As I'm older, I'm like, I
We
ain't getting on that. It's got to have at least 10 seats for me
Yeah.
to get on that thing.
Smallest we ever flew, it was our first time going to Disney for my sister, and it was a Delta Connection is what it was called. It was just a smaller Delta plane, and it was 2 in 1. So 2 seats on one side, 1 on the other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
but that nothing.
Those
I've never
fly
done
out
anything
of
smaller than
Baton
that.
Rouge.
Yeah, I thought
That's where we flew out of.
that's the Port City special right there.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go from Shreveport is
Anything
going to have
smaller than that,
those.
though, I've never done.
That's a plane.
Yeah, I mean, it had 30 seats in it.
Yeah, I've gone on. Those fly out
Yeah.
of Baton Rouge all the time.
Yeah.
But that's the smallest I think I'll go.
I've been on a
those is
6-seater
rough.
before too, and I felt safer in the 2-seater than the 6-seater.
I think so. I've always been scared of planes, even before I ever got on one.
Yeah.
And I think when I was super young, one of my uncles had like a pilot license.
Yeah.
And he would fly helicopters.
Oh,
And they somehow convinced me. I was little. It's probably only
where
a
you
memory
could say
for
no
me.
and they wouldn't care.
Right. It's probably only a memory for me because it was so traumatizing.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, I don't think I'd remember it. And I just remember being in the back of that little helicopter screaming and just wanting to get on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just like, look at the little sheep. And I'm like, ah, it was awful.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Doesn't sound any fun. No fun had.
No.
Oof. Love that. All right. So we do have a big show. Excited. Chris Doering is going to come on, preview SEC Media Day. Same thing for Connor O'Gara, kind of break down some of the teams, some of the names, some of the faces that are going to be there. And we head out over the weekend, going to be in Tampa. Weird location, right?
That is weird.
That's in Tampa.
Yeah, because it's not even.
There's
SEC.
no team there.
Yeah.
They don't play a
not even like a
rivalry game
central-
there. Like if it was Jacksonville, okay, they play Georgia, Florida there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, not only that, it's not super close. I mean, Gainesville's the closest city, and it's not that close to Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know. And
I don't know what
typically,
the
like
thought process behind that
Dallas
was.
makes sense.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, Texas was coming into the league. Oklahoma was coming into the league.
And you
What
already
did
got
they
A&M
do?
in Texas. Like I get it.
Red River is right there in Dallas.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Throw a little bone. This one doesn't make any sense. If we're gonna do and why has New Orleans not got one of these?
Right.
You know how convenient that would be. I could just drive there every day like I did for the Super Bowl.
That was
Tampa.
crazy. We were really driving back and forth every day.
Gainesville's 2 hours.
Anytime I get a chance to do something in New Orleans,
Yeah.
because of where I live, like I live south, like the most south in Baton Rouge, and so it's an hour. So even when I gotta do Sugar Bowl stuff,
Right.
they usually choose me because I'm cheap
Yeah,
because
I'm
I don't
right
have
here.
I don't need a hotel. It's what from Gainesville?
2 hours. An hour 59 minutes. So right up.
So wait. Okay. Well, because Doring's going to the airport today when we call him. That's the time slot that he gave me, but he wouldn't be going already.
No.
No. He's gallivanting too. He was just in Greece. Because he lives in Gainesville. Surely he's driving the 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, he
Gotta
might
be.
stay out there when he gets
He
there.
didn't
but
even
yeah,
drive
he's
to
driving
Mobile, though.
No. Surely, though. If he's not, oh my God.
He, went so far as to fly from Gainesville to, North Carolina to Mobile or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to not drive.
He's pretty big.
Or did he drive? I don't know.
No, he didn't. No. Well, actually, this
He
year
might
he
have.
did. Because, and only because, remember, the weather was so bad.
Oh, okay, yes.
They flew players in 3 or 4 days
Yeah.
early because the weather was going to be
It was,
so bad.
freezing.
There was a lot of people that couldn't even get to Mobile this year.
He's got to drive it. It's a straight shot. Look at that. It's literally a straight shot. You make a slight right halfway.
I don't know anything about Tampa.
Me either. I've never.
I've only been to play the Buccaneers, and when that happens, you've never really been.
Yeah, I've been for Busch Gardens. That's it. Which is kind of on the outskirts of
Bro,
Tampa.
I
Hey.
would so go to Busch
I was about
Gardens.
to say, how far is that?
So I didn't go downtown. I don't know where y'all are going to
have
be.
no
This is
idea.
a little bit north of downtown. You could see it, but dude, Busch Gardens.
I would so hit up
Can you
Busch
imagine me and
Gardens.
Flynn at Busch Gardens?
No.
Y'all know how many amusement parks I've been to?
A lot.
Busch Gardens might be number one for me.
The Tampa location?
Yeah, I mean,
More, I
dude,
don't
it's
know.
like a
Bruh.
full zoo. They have this safari thing. You
do
get
a whole
on.
lot for me.
They got all that, and then the amusement park built in it as well. It's awesome.
I think y'all need to vlog a trip to Busch Gardens.
It's fun.
I think we could do it.
Love Busch Gardens.
I'm not a big zoo fan.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do that part, but I'm just saying, it's built in. They have this roller coaster called Cheetah Hunt,
Yeah.
and as you're on it, there's literal live cheetahs.
Oh, that's
below.
now-
what?
now-
What if they attack
Yeah.
you while you're on the roller
Now
coaster?
you're talking me and Flynn style.
No, really though.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
think
they
we're
have
gonna-
kangaroos.
I think we're
Busch
gonna
Gardens
do
is
that.
awesome.
I think what's the hours on that location? Because I don't get done until 5.
Let's see.
Is that thing open at night?
It closes.
At 9,
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Oh, we could
Y'all
get.
can go.
We could get. we
you
could
just have to get the
3
fast
hours
pass.
in. Oh yeah.
I don't know if they have one, but you got to
Yeah.
get the fast pass.
Well, as much money as Flynn owes me from these Star Wars cards,
Busch Gardens trip on Flynn.
he's paying for the trip.
Oh my gosh.
Make no mistake about it.
They do fireworks too.
Yeah, we're in.
Oh wait, I think this was National Roller Coaster Day.
I mean,
But what if the cheetah attacks you while you're on the roller coaster?
This is super close.
if I survive, it's going to be Hester's Busch Garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I survive,
Like,
which is a
you're-
big if. But if I do, I'm going to own an amusement park.
They got flamingos. They got zebra.
Yeah,
or
it's
as
all-
the British say, zebra.
Do they?
I think.
That's.
God, that's
Oh, I
terrible.
hate
feel like
that.
I've heard them
I
say
hate
that.
They probably do. They say weird stuff.
Yeah.
I've been watching Love Island UK, so I think I would know.
We got to get you out of Love Island.
The USA one ended, but the UK one hasn't.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm in deep.
That's every night for how long? Have you been doing that?
I don't know. Okay, so
It's like every
USA,
night, right?
Yeah, it's every night except Wednesdays and Saturdays. The USA one was 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah. Can you imagine being trapped
of
on an island
5
for 6
days
weeks?
a week.
Yeah.
So you watch 30 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 plus. Yeah. I think it was like 35.
So there's the cheetahs. The line is basically behind where that shot was taken, and then the ride's above it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Team
Joey
trip.
in the chat said that if the cheetah attacked you on the roller coaster, it would die because you're going pretty fast.
Yeah, it's a quick boy.
Yeah, it would probably scramble its brain. They don't have like as big as brains.
Yeah, but like if it just gave you one little swipe
One swipe
on
is
the
messing
jugular,
you up.
you're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
It's a wrap.
I'm just curious, like what would happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely doing that.
They have like this grass statue that looks like a lion.
Because last year we didn't do anything fun like that.
Where was it last year?
Atlanta.
Oh yeah, no.
The year before, whatever that was in Nashville.
I should have went to go see Beyonce.
We went.
Surfboard.
Could have. Flynn's a big fan. I don't remember what year it was. We went to take BP at the AAA park where Doering embarrassed himself.
Yeah, wasn't that
That was
Nashville?
fun. That was in Nashville. So a lot of times, actually, I think there's been twice where we've been paired up with the same city in the same time as the MLB All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
So I know that just happened last night. And it was in Philly. But in Dallas and I think in Atlanta last year, we were paired up with the All-Star game.
That's fun.
So might as well had SEC Media Days in Philly. It would have been the same thing as having it in Tampa.
No correlation.
Zero.
You gotta ask Greg.
Oh, well.
Greg, why?
I'll kind of ask him like Jimbo used to ask, can you tell me why, Greg?
Why?
Just tell me why.
I just want to know.
He'll tell it. I mean, he'll have a great answer.
He always does.
He always does.
Yeah. What?
Y'all are going to be at the JW Marriott,
I have no.
Water Street.
I
looks like.
have zero idea.
Well, Busch Gardens 9 miles northeast downtown.
Oh, you're going.
Yeah, we're there.
Look, here you go. Depending on traffic, 15-minute
I
drive.
was going to say, that's
Right.
a 15-minute
Dude,
drive.
I mean,
Right.
I barely like. I kind of know we're leaving Sunday. I don't know where the hotel is. I don't know what the setup looks like. I'm not sure if Flynn's actually going to make it from where he's at. His flight doesn't get into like 11 that night.
Oof.
The one oops, and he's going to be missing SEC Media Day. I'm going to be solo dolo.
Oof.
I'm going to be grabbing arm up Marler. Hey, bud, can you sit in for a little bit? Can you tell me about the 4 teams you root for?
It's only 4.
Well,
He's a SEC fan.
Auburn, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me about Lenora Sellers? And that'll take an hour and a half up right there. You'd swear he's Randall Cunningham the way he talks about him.
You want to get information out of me? Put me in a room with Chris Marler and Taylor and get them to argue about Lenora Sellers. I would tell you anything you wanted to know.
I don't. You know what? As much as Tay would make that argument, Flynn might be right there with Tay.
Yeah,
He was not happy with Marler on Monday
that's true.
with some of the takes he had.
I mean, he doesn't have great takes.
No. He's gonna have his arm up though,
Arm up.
and he's gonna be nervous that he's gonna get in trouble by Matt the whole time. Last year, I think it was last year, he came by the set and he had on that Ted Williams hat that he always wears,
Yeah.
the Red Sox one, and he had on his polo, whatever. And for 15,
His Pop-Tart quarter zip.
not yet. He didn't. I don't think he had that yet. But for like 15 straight minutes, he was like, "Do you think Matt's gonna get mad that I'm wearing a hat?" And I'm like looking around. I'm like, "Do you know who you're asking? You're asking me
I
and
wear a
Flynn.
hat all
We
the
wear a
time."
hat every day." He's like, "Yeah, but like I'm gonna be in there and I'm gonna be asking questions and like, is it gonna be weird that I have a hat on?" I was like, "No, it's just a sports what?" He was so nervous that he was gonna get fired because he had a hat on.
Oh my god.
Like, no, what is this man?
I mean,
done to
he's
you?
probably a hat away from me. Just kidding.
He's one wrong hat.
You are one hat
You are a
away,
hat
buddy,
away.
from getting out of here. Oh, I hope he's not awake, but if he was, he would hate hearing that.
I got a text. Someone
let's
said,
go.
when they're in Tampa, can they please figure out why the University of South Florida is north of the University of Central Florida? That's all the info I need.
Oh,
Is that true?
my God, why have we never thought about that?
I guess yeah.
Holy hell.
Great question
Incredible question.
to this guy.
His
name's not on here, so I can't give him a
Wow.
shout out.
I've never even thought about South Florida's not that south.
No, it's in Orlando.
No, that's Central
Or
Florida.
Central Florida. Yeah. Central Florida's in Orlando.
That would be like Northwestern State being Southwestern State.
That's a great question.
Man, that's actually a break question. That's so good. I'm going to take a break and think about that one and look it up. All right. When we come back, you'll be shocked to know that the news of who's coming to SEC Media Day broke at 10 o'clock. I'll be damned. Yet again, news breaks at 10 o'clock. When do we get off air? At 10 o'clock. Every day. And I am going to get on my boy that works over there across from the Ponderosa so hard and be like, you knew what you were doing there. We'll tell you who it was. You already know because you got 24 hours to think about it. But we'll tell you about it. We'll break it down when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, if you've been putting off remodeling your bathroom because you think it's going to take weeks, well, guess what? Your house is not going to be torn apart. Everything's not going to be everywhere. It's not going to cost a fortune. Let me tell you about our friends at Bath Fitter of Baton Rouge. Bath Fitter has been transforming bathrooms for over 40 years with custom tubs, showers, and tub-to-shower conversions that are specifically for your space. The best part, in most cases, they can install in as little as 1 day. No major demolition, no weeks of contractors in your home, just a beautiful new bathroom that's built to last. Everything is custom, measured for your bathroom, easy to clean, and backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're getting quality that lasts. So whether you're updating an old tub, creating a walk-in shower, or making your bathroom safer and more accessible to you, Bath Fitter has a solution that fits your home and your budget. Go to their website today. That's bathfitter.com, bathfitter.com.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, welcome back in OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. LSU announced again at 10 o'clock as soon as we got off air. Alondra, I think you even called it. You're like, hey, we'll know at 10 o'clock. And, well, at 10 o'clock, literally, they announced it. It's how it always goes, always and forever. But we do know the three players. It is going to be tight end Trey Green, obviously. It's going to be linebacker Whit Weeks, another obvious choice there that we talked about. Everybody in the room had two of those players on their list. Now, the third one, we'd kind of go a little bit here, a little bit there. I know Sam Levitt, obviously, was somebody we thought would go because, well, he's the quarterback. We thought maybe you would bring somebody. If it wasn't going to be Sam Levitt, maybe it's going to be one of the big names you got out of the transfer portal. Ty Benefield was thrown out there. I know that. Prince Will was thrown out there. And we just quickly passed over T.J. Daugherty, who's actually going to be the choice, the transfer linebacker from Ole Miss. Now, I wasn't sure if they would bring a transfer from Ole Miss to media days. I didn't know if they wanted to have that player get asked a lot of different questions by a lot of different people. The Ole Miss media is probably going to be asking him a lot of questions when he's at the podium. But if they decided to send a player that did play at Ole Miss, it tells you they think he's really mature and he can handle it and he's going to give great answers. And he is a great interview. I've interviewed him. Funny enough, I've never interviewed him as an LSU Tiger. I've only interviewed him as an Ole Miss Rebel. But he is a very good interview. And they decided to go two linebackers, which that's a little bit different. I don't know that I've ever been at a media day where you had multiple players from the same position.
I think the thing was that Witt was going to go anyway.
Yeah.
Just because he's just such a good representative of the
brother.
school. So I think it's less about the position and more about who's going to represent the school.
Yeah.
And Witt was always going to be that.
Yep. Yeah, there's no doubt that Witt was going to be. Yeah, he's going to be there. I mean, if he wasn't, it would be a disservice to everybody. At media day. I mean,
The entire country.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's going to be fantastic. But it is going to give us an opportunity. Hopefully, we can catch up with TJ Daugherty because, like I said, I've interviewed him before, but only as an Ole Miss Rebel. And he's not going to have an easy media day. It's not going to be just walk up there and answer, soft tosses. Like if we have Whit Weeks, we're going to give Whit soft tosses. Why? Because we've interviewed him a bunch of times, and we like to have fun with him. So we're going to ask him, how many times in a day do you say brother? That's going to be like a question we would ask Whit Weeks because, again, we've had him a ton of times. He's great on the show, great personality. But we're going to get a chance to know TJ Daugherty a little bit, and also what led to him coming to LSU, right? Why did you leave Ole Miss to come to LSU? Tell us about the coaches. Because offensively, if you played offense for Ole Miss, it makes a lot of sense. Your coaches are here now.
Yeah.
You've thrived in that system. But defensively, there's some coaches that coach on the defense, but a large majority of this defensive staff is, returning from a year ago at LSU. So it's going to be interesting to sit down, have a conversation with him. Hopefully we can get that done.
No, that relationship with Kiffin's what did it because, you mentioned his defensive coordinator is the head coach now.
Yeah.
That would have to be super, super comfortable for a guy that not only led the team in tackles a year ago. He was Ole Miss as a leading tackler in 2025. I think this says a lot about Daugherty, though, because you mentioned he's not going to have an easy SEC media days. Well, the questions he's asked, Kiffin, brought in a couple Ole Miss guys. He clearly thought Daugherty could handle it. So, that to me, that tells me a lot about TJ Daugherty. But, no, that's the one that you're going to be watching, right? Yes, Trey has the preseason All-American hype. Whit is obviously a character and a personality. But TJ Daugherty is the one I'm watching the close just because everything you just said. What led to that process? What were your thoughts when you found out Kiffin was leaving? How did the locker room react? There's going to be a little bit of behind the curtain that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting media days from, I think, all three players, again, because Whit is always going to be really good. He's always going to give great answers. It's going to be genuine as well. It's going to happen organically. It's not going to be forced. It's not going to be scripted. At least with us, it's not. And we always look forward to that conversation. So excited as always for that one. And then really, we just mentioned what TJ Daugherty, we're going to get a chance to know him, so I'm looking forward to that. But also, Trey Des hasn't done a ton.
No, he's done player interviews after practice, but that's it.
He hasn't done anything like this. So there's going to be a large portion of the SEC that has never had an interview with Trey Des Green. They don't know about Trey Des Green. They don't, know who he is outside of just being a very large human that's really good at football. So it's going to give him an opportunity to be in front of the media, and things like this are important. Whenever you're trying to have a special All-American type season, things like this are, moments and opportunities for you to go out there and impress national media that's going to be there, SEC media that's going to be there.
Anybody that hasn't heard Trey Des Green yet, I promise you, Jake, he's going to be the biggest winner. They're going to love Trey Des Green, one of the nicest kids on the team. He's going to have an ear-to-ear grin on his face the whole time. I love interviewing him during player interviews. He's one of my favorites on the team. As far as that, he's real open. He's real honest about everything. They're going to fall in love with Trey Des Green in Tampa.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, too. I've called his games for a couple of years, but never really had the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with him, so looking forward to that. All right, we'll talk more about the players that are there at Media Day for LSU, but we're going to cover Media Day from all 16 teams kind of outlook. Chris Doering, our guy from the SEC Network, is going to join us when we come back to do so, and we'll have that here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com. Go see our friends at Trash Rangers for any of your roll-off dumpsters. 3 different sizes to choose from. Residential, commercial, pickup service. The dumpsters you can have at your business. You've probably seen them around town, the red dumpsters. That is our friends over at Trash Rangers. So when you go to the website, you can see that. You can find that information. Also, you can check out their sanitation department. That is something that is new to Trash Rangers. So if you've got a job site, if you've got an event that you're hosting and you need portable restrooms, they have got you covered. They'll bring them in, they'll drop them off, they'll pick them up. It is incredibly easy. Just like everything that they do is incredibly easy. It's with great customer service. They send you weekly text reminders to even put your trash out They pick up your trash if you miss because of a national holiday. They'll pick it up on the weekend. Nobody else does that, and they always do it at trashrangers.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Jake Laundra, Tay here with you. Going to be joined now by our guy, Chris Doering, SEC Network, getting ready for SEC Media Days coming up next week. Christopher Paul Doering, how we doing, sir?
My man, how are you, bro? I missed you. It's been a minute.
I know. Excited to hang out, be down there. Are you? Look, before we even get into it, we're planning a trip to Busch Gardens, me and Flynn. Flynn's not here today. He's gallivanting in the Caribbean somewhere. But like Busch Gardens, after a long day, just to, wind down, go a little roller coaster hunting or something like that. Are you down?
Yeah, I could be down for that. The best thing about Busch Gardens is like you can get the season pass for the same cost as like a one-day ticket. So we could go back multiple nights and hit some beers and roller coasters.
Okay, see, you made the plan even better. I look forward to it because ever since Nashville and we went and took BP at the AAA ballpark, we haven't really had like an outing. We didn't really have one in Atlanta last year, so we're going to a new spot. I'm going to be leaning on you because, Doering, I got to be honest, I don't know why in the world Media Day is in Tampa. Do you have any insight to that?
Well, I mean, I think they've tried to make it so they're traveling throughout the SEC footprint. We were in Dallas a few years ago. We've done Atlanta a couple times. Nashville's been great, and I think there's only a couple places in Florida that make sense. You're not going to go all the way down to Miami. Jacksonville's probably not big enough. So it's either Orlando or Tampa. I love it. I don't know if you've been to Tampa lately, but it's on the come up. My daughter lives there, so hopefully you'll get a chance to see my daughter while we're down there too. And it's going to be a big time, man. I'm excited about being able to drive.
Okay. Oh, there you go. You answered another question that we had, and we mentioned Jacksonville just because Georgia, Florida, obviously y'all play there. We thought maybe that would be a host that made sense. But, okay, you're selling Tampa on me, and we did have a question. We know it's less than 2 hours away, but we didn't know how bougie you were going to be and if you were going to fly to Tampa from Gainesville.
No, and it's a fair question because, as you know, there are places in the state of Florida that I fly to, including Destin when we do SEC Media Days, and that's about 4 hours, probably 4 hours and 15 minutes, which is about how long it takes me. I have to connect out of Gainesville. It just wouldn't make sense to Tampa to do that. To be able to have my car there makes it a little bit of an extra advantage for me.
All right. Well, fair enough. You're going to be the driver. I like hearing that. So look forward to it. It has been too long. And, Media Days is always a great time. We get a chance. Everybody kind of gets, to do shows that maybe we don't get to do shows together. I'm excited to be back on the College Channel for a week. It has been too long. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at some of these names, and I got to be honest, since I've been over on the NFL channel since March, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot that player went there. I forgot that player is here now. But there's a lot of intriguing names. So for you, is there somebody that you're looking forward to? And I know the list just got released yesterday, so maybe you haven't had a chance to fully look at it. But we know for the most part, guys that are going to be there regardless. Is there anybody you're looking forward to talking to maybe more than others?
I'm going to pivot from your question a little bit in that, I recognize that there are some very familiar names in new places, but I think the storyline is the new coaches in the new places. Obviously, you guys there in Baton Rouge are dealing with one, but last year we show up at Media Days and not a single new face. Now we got 6 coaches in new places, so it's quite a contrast. And as you probably know, Hess, PB and I have done a little project in the off season where we've done these in-depth get-to-know interviews with the coaches, where we've sat down in their homes, or we've played pickleball with them, or we've gone out on the golf course with them. Like, really, outside of just, hey, how's your team going to be? And I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about is I really think there are some awesome new coaches that are in perfect places. And the word fit is something that's thrown around a lot, whether we're talking about a quarterback and an offense. But I think it really matters when we talk about SEC fan bases. The different schools have different traditions of different styles of winning and how they play. And I really feel like there's some really good fits within the conference. And I think everybody's going to get a chance to know these coaches even better. And in your region, everybody's probably really dialed in on the Lane Kiffin thing. But how much do they know about Will Stein, or how much do they know, about Summerall down here? I guess everybody probably knows some about him being from Tulane recently. But I think it is a really cool opportunity. Golish was amazing. I mean, all these guys. Ryan Silverfield was probably the least known guy that I got a chance to get to know a little bit better. So I think that's the thing that stands out to me, especially for you, having not necessarily been around as much of the college stuff here this offseason. You're going to fall in love with some of these guys, man.
Yeah, and I had a chance, being off campus to interview guys like Golish when they were elsewhere, and Summerall when he was at Tulane. And I am so excited and so happy for those guys that they're going to get an opportunity to coach in the SEC. They're going to get a chance to go on the biggest stage and try to prove themselves. And look, John Summerall. You've been around him now a lot of different times. I've seen the videos, and you probably already know that about John Summerall. He is somebody that doesn't feel like he's going to be denied. I know when he was hired, everybody's trying to correlate it. Oh, here comes another group of six coach from Louisiana. And this is no disrespect to Billy Napier. They aren't remotely the same person.
No. They are not, and I think the things that Coach Summerall is exactly what Florida fans need. And one of the biggest complaints they had about Billy Napier was the lack of energy on the sideline, and they felt like the team played with that same kind of just kind of attitude. Summerall, to me, reminds me a lot of Todd Golden, a guy on the sideline that's getting dudes off the ground and slapping them on the butt and a high five and getting the crowd into it. Like, the Summerall's emotion, obviously, it reminds me of a linebacker, right? That's what he is. And so I think he's done a great job of really endearing himself to the fan base. He's done every single interview, showed up at every single appearance, done every podcast. Like, the dude really has understood what the assignment was since getting that job. And that's, not only letting the fan base know, who he is, but energizing the fan base. And this is the most optimism that I really feel like Florida's had in a while. And I look at it as I think Florida is the team that makes the biggest jump in terms of wins from last year to this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being down there, having that conversation with Coach Summerall, just because I haven't had a chance since he's now the Florida head coach. Maybe like when he first got hired, but now that he's had a chance to kind of be down there. Unfortunately, the Gators and Tigers aren't playing, so we'll have to, we'll have to find another way for you to dress up in a costume on national TV. We'll see if we can get that done. Another coach that I think I might be more interested to talk with, that's now a head coach in the SEC, even more than Summerall, even more than Alex Golish, is a guy that you and I know very well, and Pete Golding.
Yeah.
And I say that because obviously, like the Ole Miss, LSU stuff, that's going to be interesting to our listeners, what he has to say. But the thing I know about Pete's going to say what comes to Pete's mind.
Yeah.
Pete is not going to give you what you want on the podium, right? There's going to be, our guy, the SID there, right? We know he's going to be trying to make sure he says the right thing, but Pete Golding's going to say whatever he wants to say. That's the way Pete's always been. It doesn't matter if you're playing golf, if you're in his office, or if he's on a podium. I cannot wait to see how Pete Golding handles being a head coach. And I love that about Pete. It's my favorite thing about him.
Authenticity means a lot as a coach. It means a lot as a coach in terms of connecting with players. And I think that's why he was able to kind of get that job. He won that entire locker room over after dealing with what they did with Lane Kiffin departing. Authenticity matters with the fan base. It matters with the media. And I think he has a chance to be maybe one of the biggest winners at media days, being up in front of everybody. He's had a chance to kind of, knock off the rust as, become a head coach and understand how to handle the podium and is coaching some big games. But I love Pete Golding. I love the decision that was made there by Keith Carter to kind of keep the train on the tracks and headed in a kind of similar direction despite Lane Kiffin leaving. But I'm interested in what you think has, like, obviously the most pressure in the SEC is on Lane Kiffin. To me, it's a pass or fail season. Either you go to the playoff or it's a failure. But I think right below them is Ole Miss. And a lot of it has to do with the season they had last year. Pete Golding winning a couple playoff games. Trinidad Chambliss comes back, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the country. Like, I'm worried that they're going to be able to catch that same lightning in a bottle, especially with everybody, having a much greater probably opinion of what Ole Miss is now. They're going to get everybody's best shot. So I think outside of LSU, the most amount of pressure heading into media days and beyond is on Pete Golding.
Let me ask you this, CD, because I agree with you. I agree with LSU having the most and Ole Miss being right there. Are you surprised, and this isn't a rhetorical question, I'm not trying to influence you one way or the other, but are you surprised with how much love Ole Miss is getting heading into this season? Like, Sporting News and Sports Illustrated, ESPN, a lot of places you look, they've got them in the college football playoff, kind of knowing what they lost on the sideline with their offensive staff, but also they lost some key players. I mean, you've got your best edge rusher and your Mike linebacker now in Baton Rouge.
They've done a good job in the portal, though, as well. I know they've lost some guys, but I think they did do a nice job of backfilling and adding some pieces. I don't think it's a surprise. I think everybody puts their opinion on a team and what they're going to be heading into a new season based on their last memories of seeing them, and that was one of the hottest teams. That was one of the best stories in college football towards the end of the year last year. So I don't think it's a huge thing. I go back to what I said about Trinidad Chambliss. You make a great point. I think maybe more, and this maybe hearsay, but I think equally as much with Trinidad Chambliss and not having Lane Kiffin is Charlie Weiss Jr. not being there. I mean, the fact that he was able to go back and forth during the playoff and what he, not only being the guy that's calling the plays and putting him in position to be successful, but the voice in the ear. That, man. What it for a quarterback, that relationship. We saw it at South Carolina. I mean, look at what happened with Dow Loggins leaving and Lenora Sellers struggling last year with Mike Shula. So I worry about being able to keep things on the track. Actually, it's ironic because PB, I'm heading to the airport right now. PB and I are doing a big sit down with Trinidad Chambliss tomorrow. So I'm anxious to get a little bit more thoughts on how he feels with some of the new dynamics this year. But I'm not surprised. I think it's easy to say, all right, well, what teams did the SEC get in last year? I feel good about Alabama and Georgia getting back in. I actually feel really good about Oklahoma getting back in. So to me, it's really like, all right, who's the team that kind of jumps up and surprises everybody? A couple years ago, it was Texas doing that. Last year, it was Oklahoma. Like, who's the team that we're not talking about that's going to be able to push themselves into that next tier of teams and make it to the college football playoff?
So real quick, this sit down with Trinidad Chambliss, you and PB, it's in Oxford?
Yes, it's in Oxford. I'll actually be landing in Memphis and driving to Oxford.
Yeah, I was like, you ain't landing in Oxford unless you're taking something private. Is this going to be like at the facility or at the bar at the library?
No, here's the deal. It's a fair point, fair question.
Yeah.
But the most important thing about what we've done with these sit downs is that we've wanted to make them different than everybody else. We don't want to do it at the facility. We're trying to get to know them. Like I mentioned, Will Stein, we did it at pickleball with he and his wife. We did some. We went fishing in Golish's backyard, the stocked pond. I mean, it was cool. So I think we're doing it at Trinidad's place overlooking the square, which is a flex in and of itself. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing it at the library. That might be a nice setting as well.
Yeah, look, I was just wondering because I know that if anybody knows the layout, it's you, and if anybody's going to try to drag you there, it's PB. So I was just trying to see if I could figure it out. All right, so we're going from Oxford back to Gainesville and then Tampa.
Yep. It's about that time, and I'm a glutton for punishment. Hess, like, I by the end of the season, we're all just worn out, right? I'm tired from going back and forth, spending 4 nights a week on the road in Charlotte. I'm like, man, I can't wait to be at home. And then I hit the off season. I'm ready to start with the travel. So I need to try to recharge the battery. I think that's kind of what August is hopefully for. SEC Media Days is kind of that oasis. Remember in Bugs Bunny, you'd see that oasis out in the middle of the desert. I feel like we get a little football, and then we're back in the desert for another month before we get a chance to really hit this thing hard and get the season kicked off.
Well, I'm glad you're going to have some rest in August. I'm going on a 15-stop NFL training camp tour in August.
I mean, that's what big timers do. I mean, I'm so proud of you. You know how much I love you, and watching all the success that you've had. It's just it's a little sad because we don't get to do as much together as we once did. But I guess that's the reason we get off season. So hopefully,
hey, well, I mean, look, we're going to multiple teams that you played for: Steelers, the Commanders. I mean, you can just come up and go to training camp practice with me.
It's so funny because you get these alumni invites and different things like. Man, that would be a tour in and of itself if I toured all the different places I played during my 10 years there.
Well, I'm going to be on most of those stops, so you just let me know. CD, we appreciate it, sir. Stay safe there in Oxford. Don't allow PB to cloud your judgment as he often does with certain people. Have fun. Looking forward to the interview and seeing some of that content coming out of Oxford with Trinidad Chambliss, and look forward to seeing you, brother.
Yeah, man. See you Sunday, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he is, Chris Doering, SEC Network, having to deal with Peter Burns way too often. All right, we will step away. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Now, a lot of different ways that you can contact the G team. If you're going to getgordon.com, remember you can have a chat with a live agent. As soon as you go to the website, it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you what they can help you with today. That's one way. Another way, you can find them on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, like whatever it is, any major social media. Their handle's always going to be at Get Gordon. So you can see what they're doing with your favorite athletes in Louisiana. You can see what they're doing throughout the local communities in Louisiana. All that's always going to be on social media. If you want to check out past client results, testimonials of past clients, they've got that on the website, getgordon.com as well. But the thing we always kind of encourage you to do, you can pick up the phone anywhere in the state of Louisiana. It doesn't matter where you're at, and you can put your area code, followed by 888-8888. Have that conversation today. Getgordon.com, get Gordon, and get it done.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Riding in the drop top with the top down, so you're switching lanes, girl. Pull up to the red light, looking right, come and let me get your name, girl. Tell me where you're from, what you do, what you like, let me pick your brain, girl. And tell me how they got that pretty little face on that pretty little frame, girl. Well, let me show you around, let me take you out, bet you we can have some fun, girl. Cause we could do it fast, fast, slow, whichever way you wanna run, girl. Well, let me buy you drinks, better yet rings, do it how you want it done, girl. And who would've thought that you could be the one? Cause I can't wait to fall in love with you. You can't wait to fall in love with me. This just can't be summer.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Always want to remind you about our friends over at Bayou Automotive, BayouAutomotive.com down in LaPlace, Louisiana. Go see them today. Now, you don't have to go see them today. Now, if you want to drive down to LaPlace, it's a great dealership. But if you're at your desk right now and you've been in the market for a new vehicle, go to BayouAutomotive.com. You can buy your vehicle right there online, and they'll deliver your vehicle to you. An incredible service that they have over at Bayou Automotive. Please check out the Black Widow packages. You will be blown away. They are showstoppers, and they do it better than anybody in the country. I fully believe that. I've seen it. Nobody does it better. Go to BayouAutomotive.com today. All right, we just had a great conversation with our guy, Chris Doering. And CD, I love him. Always hoping that Florida gets back to their winning ways. Last year, he was very bullish on the Florida Gators. They did not have a good year, but I will back him up a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to slight Billy Napier. I like Billy. Billy's a good football coach. John Summerall's just different than Billy Napier. They finally got something they can be excited about there in Gainesville. And there's a lot of excitement in a lot of different places across the country. That's what this time of year is. It's, the optimism. It's we can do A, B, and C when actually you can't do any of them, but you think you can during this time of year. It's what I love about media days. Everybody's going to come in with the same record, but there's going to be some coaches, there's going to be some people there that understand the pressure and the expectation that they're going to have. And I know that CD mentioned Lane Kiffin and having pressure to go out there and make the playoff, but there's some other coaches, and we can get into it in the next hour, that are going to be feeling it this year if it doesn't go their way. And they're not going to make the playoff. It's not playoff caliber teams, but they're going to have expectations to be better than they were, to show some signs of life. And we can go over that list too, because there's going to be a lot of new coaches in the SEC and new landing spots, but that doesn't mean there won't be brand new ones next year. There's some coaches on this list that are going to be at Media Day that if they don't even go, let's say 8-4, they're going to be looking for a new job, and they're going to be looking for employment because they're not going to be in their spot. So we'll have that conversation. We've got Connor O'Gara joining us in 30 minutes from now as well. Stay locked in to OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go see our friends over at Ochsner. As we tell you all the time, there's so many different locations that are going to be convenient for you depending on what you need, depending on what you are looking for. And we always tell you about the orthopedic clinics, right? So whether you're dealing with sports injuries, joint pain, maybe you just woke up one morning and something doesn't feel right, don't wait to get it checked out. The team at Ochsner Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here to help you. And they want you to get back to doing what you love. So if you need care fast, there's an orthopedic walk-in clinic located right next to Elite Training Academy on Burbank. Remember, there's no appointment necessary. They even offer on-site x-rays so you can get answers fast. If you want to learn more information about that location or any other orthopedic clinics, remember, all you got to do is go to their website. That's ochsner.org/brortho. Again, that's ochsner.org/brortho. Ochsner Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.